I first met Dick Lillie when he came from Waco to be the assistant director of planning. There was just something about him that just made a click. I found out very soon what the word mentor meant. He would help you, he would give you advice, he would never push you about it. The man was always a calm, collected gentleman.
And I'm one of the people he mentored, where he just glommed onto you and he wasn't going to let you go. He wanted you to understand how planning was done in Texas, in Austin. He wanted you to have a sense of the opportunities you had to play a role in that. He engaged people in a variety of volunteer activities, and he was the world's greatest at nudging people into performing maybe at a level that they didn't even know they could. And he kept up those relationships with people over the years. Folks told me that when Dick called and asked for something, they would say yes, and then they would say, well, by the way, what is it that you actually need?
Of all of the people that my paths have crossed with in my 5-6 decades of planning, Dick is at the top in terms of what his contributions to the profession have been. Dick has done it with such humility and such understatement. It's almost like the Teddy Roosevelt thing, is speak softly and carry a big stick. Sometimes you have to have Dick repeat things because I've never heard him raise his voice.
While Dick was in Austin, he also served as a lecturer at the UT Planning School and was always very open and supportive to students and young planners as they entered the profession and kind of set their goals for where to go.
But the thing that Dick did with planning students that was so remarkable was made himself available. You stopped into Dick's office with or without an appointment, and Dick would talk to you about the profession and the opportunities that were available to you. And he did this when he was a planning director for the city of Austin, which is really phenomenal for somebody who's just thinking about becoming a planner to get in and see the local planning director. But he didn't just think about teaching in terms of students. He thought about teaching in terms of everybody who needs to know more about planning.
So I met Dick Lillie in 1978 when I moved here with an all but, as they call it. Hadn't finished my thesis yet, so it was an all but thesis, an all but, as they say. I came here from Knoxville, from University of Tennessee. And so I called up Dick Lillie, the planning director, thinking that planning directors have nothing better to do than talk to people who are simply coming off the street asking about stuff. And Dick offered me a job. They had a opening as a draftsman, or a draftsperson they call it now. So from 78 to 84, I was a consumer of planning. As just, back then they'd have the council meetings on KUT. So I'd listen to the council meetings and I'd listen to Dick and I'd follow what was going on. And it was really fascinating. I was always impressed by Dick and his general just calm demeanor and his just incredible professionalism. And remembering back to his, just his kindness to me when I first showed up at his doorstep at the planning department, so to speak.
Well, everybody's going to tell you that he's a world-class mentor, okay? He thinks of other people before himself, and he thinks of planning. Everything is important in planning. Austin is not the easiest town in the world to be a planner in because it's very, very intelligent, very highly politicized. Dick knew how to swim in those types of waters. I was not here, unfortunately, in the 70s, but I have gone back and I've looked at his record. Never have I seen so many people from such diverse bases compliment him, give him awards, and I'm talking about from neighborhoods to realtors. He was Mr. Planning in this city for so long, and I will assure you that he's never going to be equaled in Austin because of his footprints and what he accomplished.
The Austin Tomorrow Plan had a lot of innovations in it. It was very public participation oriented. That Dick reached out with the new city manager to be able to incorporate a lot of meetings and a lot of input, and he would hold open houses where he would invite people to come talk with each other about various topics, and developed a system to establish priorities. A lot of this was fairly new in the planning profession, at least in the Texas area.
Dick's personality was so modest and unassuming that getting him to talk about his accomplishments as a planner was just like pulling teeth. He would say, well, I really don't think of the work I did as being highly significant. And his work was very important in Texas.
A hallmark of Dick was always his modesty, and it was always about other people and not about him. So when I would ask him about some of the things he had accomplished, he would often turn that around and talk about what other people accomplished around him.
He's just a good guy who did a good job at the right time.
Dick loved planning through and through, and he loved the people who did the planning.
As I looked at him and worked with him, I think I hopefully assimilated some of his characteristics.
Dick was nice. People liked Dick as a person, and I think that helped him to forge so many relationships that were very long-term and very effective. And as somebody who has a tendency from time to time to say exactly what I think you need to hear, whether you want to hear it or not, I think we underestimate sometimes the power of nice. Dick had it to the nth degree.
It's been an honor to have him as a colleague and a friend and a mentor for almost 60 years.